I just need you to know this is related to a conversation we were having right before we hit record. I just need the internet to hear this as well as you.
Hello,
And that is that
internet.
I had a friend in high school, very sweet, lovely girl. And we had these popsicles at lunch, and they were those
Uh-oh.
rainbow ones, the one
Yeah.
that, like, there's a bunch of
Yeah.
different colors all stacked on top of each other. And I wasn't there for this because it was before I got to high school. She was, I believe, a grade above me, but I was told about this story. Apparently, she, I guess, must have been a freshman. It was a thing that you would see what
Mm.
color you could get to, like, just all in one go,
Oh,
right? So,
yeah.
like, you know, the
Yeah.
colors at the bottom were more impressive. And this group of guys, I mean, I assume it was, like, band guys, somebody that
Yeah.
they, like, knew but weren't super close with. At any rate, they were like, "Hey, what color can you get to?" And my sweet innocent friend didn't know. She didn't
Ah!
know, right? She just was like, "Oh, that's, let's see what color I can get to." She bit the stick. And that is how it is every time the story came up, they'd be like, "You remember when she bit the stick?" And she
Bit
didn't
the
know.
stick.
And those guys were shocked because those were not small popsicles.
No.
She bit
No.
the stick, and she didn't understand why everyone was, like, gagged.
Literally. Bit the
Literally.
stick. Bit the stick is a very actually, like, metal phrase.
It is metal,
Like,
and
you
that's why
bit the
it stuck
stick.
with me. She bit the stick.
Wow.
And she didn't know until later why that was, so noteworthy to them.
Huh. The only thing my high school did, and I feel like this was mainly in, like, gym class, was people, like, come around and, like, pinch you,
Oh,
and then
what?
whatever, like, squeal you made was, like, your moan.
That's
I
unfortunate.
I don't think I don't think it was very accurate and also painful,
No, that is rude.
and yeah, it
We
wasn't
used
great.
to do it was much more consensual and not dirty, but well, within my friend group anyway, because this is one of my favorite things. There was this process where you would lay on the ground with your arms, like, crossed over your chest, like
Mhm.
you're a corpse, and somebody would put their hands on, like, where your wrists cross, essentially, like, right
Yeah.
on top of your chest, and you would breathe in, the person laying down, and then you would
Uh-huh.
breathe out slowly, and as you breathe out, they gently start to put pressure on your chest,
Uh-huh.
and it forces you to laugh.
Oh.
Like, you will do it every time. I don't know why. I don't know what the science is, but you will laugh.
Hmm.
And it's supposedly like your, true laugh, quote unquote.
Interesting.
I sound like a cackling witch every time it happens to me, so that was fun to learn. Um,
Now I'm very intrigued.
yeah, it's
Coming
it's
at you
an
live from
experience.
Steamy LitCon 2024. You'll hear
No,
our true laughs.
no intro, just true laughs.
Just true laughs. Yeah. What's better than true love? True laughs. That's the theme of Steamy Lit 2024. Someone reminded us to do that.
True laughs. We're gonna have to write it down, come back
Oh
to
yeah.
it.
I'll set a reminder on my phone. August 2nd, 2024. What's good?
I'm like, what does this mean? I'm like, oh, I know.
True laugh.
I'm aware.
Oh,
Sounds
I
like a
can't
new
wait.
girl bit. Oh, it's because it
It
sounds like
does.
true American,
Oh,
which I never did figure out the rules to.
I don't think we're supposed to.
It's a good point. Probably
I
not.
feel like people have like done what they could, which isn't
I just
everything.
want to play it.
I want to play it
Really?
with that cast.
Well, yeah, that is
Like,
an issue.
God, that sounds so fun. Oh, Nick and Jess.
I keep getting videos on my TikTok feed of, like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't there's some podcast they do of, like, behind the scenes, like, the
Oh, really?
actors. I don't know. But so people will use clips from that and then show the scene that they're talking about where, like, it'll be, like, Jake Johnson talking about, "Oh, this
Mm-hmm.
dialogue in this scene, like, only this much was scripted, and then the rest is all them
I do love
improving."
knowing that.
I don't even there's, like, one fight that he and Jess have where they're yelling at each other and they're, like, overlapping, and apparently a whole bunch of it was just improv. I don't
I think I
I
saw on
can't.
Twitter where they had to be like physically separated because there was too much chemistry. That like the showrunners like they did because they didn't want them to get together right away. So they were like, you guys can't
That tracks, honestly.
like yeah like you can't be in scenes together and you can't like be together a lot, because then the audience is gonna know because we see it, and so like you guys have to just like stay away
Jake Johnson
until
has so
we
much
want to get to
riz
that point.
that
I
even
know.
playing like a loser,
I know, like
he
in
has
any
such
other
chemistry.
actor, that the Nick Miller character
No, Nick Miller
would
is
not
not
work.
my type, but Jake
No.
Johnson, Nick Miller is.
Yes. Which is so unhealthy, but it's okay. It's just does something, and I mean, there are like compilations of like him like kissing in like multiple
Yeah,
movies or
yeah.
shows, and it's just like, where did
That
he learn
first
that?
New Girl kiss
Yeah.
is my Roman Empire.
Yeah.
I watched it on a loop.
Yeah.
I would just start the scene over.
Yeah.
Like,
Just the way he like spins her and then stops and then
he kisses with his whole body.
he does. Sexual charisma he has.
Yoda, you are?
Yes. That's me. I guess sexual charisma. I think of Lisa Kleypas heroes and sexual charisma. I feel like they all got it.
They are
Even if I don't
all
like them, they all got it.
Wizard of Oz, as my 60-year-old father would
The
say.
Wizard of Oz, gosh. If anyone knows the episode that was in, you get a cookie. Congratulations. I don't
even
either.
know.
You said it in an episode, but I don't know which one.
One of them.
Yeah. So again,
Scavenger hunt.
if you, the listener, know, cookie, have you?
Cookie.
So, have you the the scene that sticks in my mind from again the magic rewind. We are romance or TBR. We are romance or TBR. I can be serious.
You are fully capable as the editor of this show of inserting sound effects, but instead, we just make them with our mouths.
You know, Ted Lasso inspired me. If I could, I would like retrace all my steps, but it's just been sitting in this chair, so you wouldn't.
So, no steps to retrace.
No
there
steps. Yeah. I can't do that on command. My brain
How
gets all
many
messed up.
Yoda sentence structures can we work into one episode, do we think? Did you know that's why the Star Wars movies are numbered the way they are? 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3?
Stop.
Because in charge of scheduling Yoda was.
He said to take it too far. That's actually very funny. That's actually perfect.
Like, actually, I gotta give it up for that one.
I do. That's actually perfect.
I can't even commit to the bit of being annoyed.
That is so true. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, the magic is the book
Lisa Kleypas
we talk about now. That wasn't even Yoda. That was just me not knowing where the sentence was going. Spoilers ahead. Spoilers ahoy.
Spoilers ahoy. Yeah, definitely.
So if you haven't read it, please go do so. I do not recommend going into that one having already listened to this episode.
No, that would suck for you, honestly. So I don't want it to suck for you.
Sure, you're again the magic Roman Empire.
Oh, I'm just thinking about it. I can't.
What?
I think he was talking to Westcliff. Or no, he was talking to Mrs. Faircloth or Fairfield or something. And she was like, "You're not gonna hurt her." And then he's like, "No, I'm not." And then he turns away and
looks into the camera and smiles maniacally. I immediately think of the Grinch.
Yes,
that creepy smile from the
Grinch
is my immediate thought, and it makes
I just can't believe she wrote that.
She said, "This is a great bit."
It is hilarious to me to think of that man just like turning, facing the camera and smiling. No one else is there, and he's just having the best time.
Good for him, honestly.
Honestly, that it sticks with me. It's only been 24 hours, but it'll stick with me.
Be a simp. He's like, "Ahaha, revenge," and then is like, "I would lay down my life for you, except I will take your virginity against this tree." Well, he didn't know it was her virginity, but he was like, "I will have sex with you against this tree."
And they did, and it was good. I enjoy when they don't know.
That they did, and it was good.
That's all you need to know. That's the
7th day. That got a little too blasphemous for me. I backed out. I'm backing out. Unlike McKenna.
Yeah, he didn't. He is like, I
comes
can't.
in her repeatedly.
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah, I did appreciate it. I was like, you
what
know
about it?
what? Honestly, I've said it before. I am not against accidental pregnancy in historical. I'm not against secret baby. I'm not against any of that. I prefer them not pulling out. I know, controversial. In my historical romance, I'm like, just roulette. Just gamble a little bit. You all like to gamble. Like, I'm good with it. It'll add some spice if it is. If it
It's
isn't, well.
fine. It's
Well,
fiction.
I
They're gonna
mean,
get married.
in historical romance, I think it's fun. Again, not in real life. I don't really even like that in contemporary, but historical, I just think it adds
Oh,
a little
yeah.
extra
No,
pizzazz. Because
contemporary, you're
no.
like, "Oh, where's your birth control?"
That's like, yeah, if it's not referenced, I'm like, that makes me feel weird. Um,
Mhm.
but in historical, I'm like, I don't know. I just think
My toxic
in the
trait
clutches, oof.
is loving a quirky little the heroine thinks that she's infertile because of a previous marriage where she never got
Yeah,
pregnant and is like, "It's fine, I can't conceive," and it turns out she
yeah,
sure can. I don't like
yeah,
this when she's actually, like, infertile and it's just a magic
yeah.
sperm situation, but I do like, it was
Mhm.
clearly, like, her husband blamed her, but that
He's just
was
an
not the
old
case.
man with no virility. Mm. But back, or again, with again
Nice.
the magic.
Yeah, my Roman Empire with Again the Magic, besides actually all of it, is,
He turned around grinning like a devil.
beside nice. Uh,
Thank you.
Lisa's version.
Lisa's
Um,
version.
I think far too often about him going to the housekeeper and her just shutting the door and then him putting his head on her shoulder and crying.
Yeah, that hurt.
That locked into my brain. I was like, "Why am I also crying?"
I was upset.
The image of this large man
McKenna. Yeah.
weeping, I was like, "Oh."
Well, because that was after she sent him off the second time, right?
Yeah. I thought
Yeah.
it was earlier. For context, this was my
You,
second
yeah.
read, and so the whole time I was like, "When is that scene?" Because it was in my brain. I was like,
Hmm.
"What? When does it happen?" And it happened later than I was expecting, but it made sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I was definitely like, Aline, that was too much of you. I was like, I can't. How did you? Like, it worked out well, so it's like it's not a situation where like it ruined the book for me. But I was definitely like, lady, I've read a lot of pages in a short amount of time, and like, I was tired and
Well, but
I
see, we
wanted to
had
be
to send
done,
him away so that Marcus could get involved.
which is true. That
We did need
Marcus did save me. He saved everything because I
I
do love that
love
man.
Marcus.
And I was so happy. Oh, actually, no, I was unhappy that we got cut out of the scene of him and Gideon when what's his name? Oh my god, I'm blanking. McKenna. Oh my
McKenna,
god, I
yeah.
literally just said it like 2 minutes ago. When McKenna and Aline were like in his bed, he like gets there, he's like, oh god, and he has to go to Marcus's, and I'm like, deleted scene who? Tell me what Marcus did. I need to know. I need to know because
Marcus,
he was so reasonable but insightful.
he's so funny in this book. The entire way through, Marcus is just, like, causing problems, but fixing problems.
Yeah.
I love
His
that
character
man.
type is hilarious. Cuz he's just honestly he's so unique.
Yeah.
Like just his problem fixing like cuz he's like technically like stereotypical until you read about him and then he's not. He's just like what is this Earl? Like
I
I
love that
don't.
he just repeatedly gets called ugly. Like, we know he's Lisa Kleypas's favorite
Yeah.
hero,
Yeah.
but she's constantly like, "He was not a handsome man. He was average height, super stocky." I just
Yeah.
imagine this, like, Dorito-looking, like,
Well, they're like a bull of a man. I'm like, what do you
built
like?
and, like, large, flat features, but
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
intriguing looking, which I get.
which is crazy cuz like I don't picture things in my mind, so I literally I don't know what that would like look like. I don't know. So I just always picture like a bland, handsome face. Like everyone looks the same. Like I don't know. Like I can't
Handsome Squidward?
handsome. Oh my god, God no. If that happens, if this happens in the future because of you, you will get a cease and desist letter
No,
from my people.
no, handsome Squidward is clearly Sebastian St. Vincent.
Yeah, that's true. God
I
damn.
don't know who Marcus Marsden is, but
I don't
I
either.
know that I want
Like, if
him.
he's, like, kinda like Tom Hardy, I'm cool with that.
I can see that. Well,
Yeah.
'cause he's like, he's not handsome, but
And
he
he's
is
not tall.
interesting to look at. And he's not tall, but he's interesting to look at, which I get because my type is not conventionally attractive, but interesting to look at people.
Yeah.
God, I love that man. Why is he constant? He's like, I went and made problems for their business. And Aileen is like, Marcus, what is wrong with you? You just made their lives so much harder. And he's like, correct. And now they have to leave to go deal with it.
He is the ultimate romance brother.
No, he is. You're so right.
I don't think I would have appreciated him without having read all the other Lisa Kleypas that we have read.
Fair
Because even
enough.
in I mean his like whole losing his mind at the end of Autumn made me just love him so intensely. But it wasn't really until like the Ravenels where he just got to thrive in his married happy, like his kids were born. He didn't have to like look for a vet to birth his child. Like he was good. He just came, saw, conquered the issue.
Yeah,
Him and
he
his
very
wife
quickly became
left.
my favorite in
Yeah.
Devil in Winter. I think
Yeah.
that's the book where I was like, banger. Because he just shows up, assesses issues,
He's so
fixes
funny.
issues. Lillian is like, you are so high-handed and arrogant, and I love you very much.
Well, and I love his friendship with Sebastian. Like when Sebastian's so sad that he like ruined it, and then Westcliff's like, "Give me some love." I'm like, "Oh,
I think actually a lot. Because I think about all of these books a lot.
yeah,
It's just in my brain a lot. I think constantly
relatable."
about the scene where he is having a conversation with Evie, and Sebastian's also
Mm.
there and is technically part of the conversation, but like no one's listening to him. Because Marcus is concerned for Evie, like a good best friend's boyfriend.
Yeah.
Uh, and Evie's like, no, he's actually been really lovely to me. He's a great husband. And Sebastian is like, no, I haven't. I am evil. I abducted you. I carried you. I'm a bad man. And Marcus is just continuing to have this conversation with Evie. And Evie's like, I don't know what he's talking about. He's great. He's really so wonderful to me. And Sebastian's like, shut up. I'm a villain. I'm a villain. I'm so evil.
The dramatics of that man.
Why is he so dramatic? Marcus
I
is
don't
also
know.
dramatic, but like he's so
But
earnest about it.
yeah, because he's so earnest. That's a great word.
You remember it? Is it? I don't remember. I think I must have been in It Happened One Autumn, where all the guys are sitting around drinking, and Marcus says something about not understanding why you would need to have sex more than like once a
Yeah,
week or
it's that one
something.
because, or maybe it.
I feel like it
I'm
has to
assuming
be
it's
because they
Autumn,
reference it later in the book.
or it was the summer one because then you're like, oh, he's gonna
I
get
thought that,
absolutely
but I think because Simon Hunt comes in and catches them on
and is
the
talk.
floor
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
references
yep,
it. He's like, "Once a week?"
yep,
Or
yep,
I think it's once a week or something like
yeah.
that. And Marcus is like, "Shut up and get out! Shut up!" What an icon.
uh okay, so I was already thinking that we needed to reread the series and do an episode or like do I didn't know if we should do like what we did for the Hathaways, but we're already doing Old School School. So I was like, what if we do like 2 and 2 or just all 4? But then that's just a lot.
That's a lot to talk about.
Yeah. Like I don't know because I feel like it'd be useful for a person who hasn't read them or has read them and want like to have one per. But I don't know. I mean, they don't have to go like specifically like we can spread them out or whatever. But especially for the first 2 because we're doing this one, which is book 0. And then I don't have audiobooks or like I refuse the audiobooks of books 1 and 2. So I just have to read them physically again. And you should read you should read the summer one physically so you can see that whole ring scene. That was great. For some reason they cut that out and I don't know why. I'll have to read it again to see. I don't know. But stay tuned if we do that because I think I'm in the mood for a reread because I just reread the Ravenels. And I mean I've reread Scandal in Spring frequently. And we have our episode on A Wallflower Christmas. And I'll be rereading that around the holidays. So
We shall
there's
see.
some options there. But yeah, it's just so fun to see her like weave these characters in. Because what book was it Aline and McKenna, or was it Livia and
All of
Gideon
them
that
were
we
in summer.
So that was summer? Okay. Because I
All
remember,
four
like,
of them were
one
visiting, and it happened one summer.
was it?
I'm
I just
98% sure.
I trust you more than me. I just remember someone was on, like, the staircase, and it was, like, the blonde guy, so I'm assuming that was Gideon,
I'm
I think.
pretty sure
They all blend together.
unless it was autumn, but I don't.
Again, I don't know.
Well, I assumed it was summer because that's the house party. That's why Simon and Annabelle were both there.
Yeah.
Because it happened one autumn. I think is just the uh uh oh my
After
gosh,
just
what
the
are their last Lillian Bowman? I think it was just the
Bowmans,
Bowmans
yeah.
there because I think everybody else had left.
Yeah, that sounds right. Well,
Although I don't know, they might have stayed through that one. So I don't know. I don't know is the
yeah.
answer, but they're there in the beginning of the
I
series.
vividly remember in one of those books, who knows, seeing one of the two couples. I don't remember if I remember both, but I remember one of them. So I was excited to see the lore behind that. And I definitely
Oh, maybe it is just the one. Maybe Aileen and McKenna are still in America.
that is potentially the case. Because then maybe they all come back in the Wallflower Christmas, maybe. But
I
I
don't
just
think
remember
so.
like some big brooding guy on a staircase. Honestly, that could maybe not have ever happened, but
I don't know. I don't know. Someone is there at some point.
yes.
They reference at least all of them because I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, intriguing."
Mhm.
Um, but I
And
don't know.
if you don't know like us, um this has two couples, so it's like a 2 for 1 book.
Mm.
So it's Aline, she's the older sister, and McKenna, he was the stable boy turned footman for like a day, turned like ferryman, turned businessman. And then you have Livia, Aline's younger sister, and then Gideon Shaw, who is the business partner of McKenna. And that's how it all shakes out. I definitely didn't see myself rooting more for Gideon and Livia by the end. I was like, I need more of you. Like if she would have done like a full like book of just their correspondence while he was getting sober. I'm so intrigued because she read the letter from Aline, and I was like, yeah, that's cute, but also, what is Gideon telling you? I need to know. Like, I need to know his heart because he was just putting his entire heart, and I'm
I
like, I need
wonder
to know.
if it's there's a moment in Devil in Winter where Sebastian opens up to Evie and we don't know what he says. We just
Yeah,
because Lisa essentially just says like he tells her things
yeah, you're
that
right.
no
Yeah.
one had or that he hadn't told anyone before, something along
Mm-hmm.
those lines. And it's supposed to create this sense of like not even we the reader are in on that
Yeah,
intimacy because it's so private, and I wonder if she wasn't doing I mean, also there just wasn't it was the secondary
yeah,
couple in one book,
yeah.
but I
They
wonder
were
if
my
that wasn't
primary couple. God damn it.
intentional as like
I
these
bet it
are
was, and
too private even for us the
well, and
reader.
it would have been hard as shit to write.
Well,
I'm not
that's
gonna
true.
deny that.
I mean, that's
I just want to know. I want to know.
so true. So nosy.
So nosy. And just like I just felt a little bit cheated at the end. Like I wanted them to see them back together again. Like cuz we saw her like look out the window and he looked up, but I'm like, but I
But it's
want
supposed to be that like hope.
yeah, I don't do that. I don't hope, okay?
I mean, you see them together in
I know.
Wallflowers.
I know. I was really rooting for them by the end. I was like,
I think anything more
Aline
than
kind of
that would
pissed
have
me
felt
off.
eh, excessive. I think we just
See,
needed that,
I
like, eye
understand.
contact and you know that they're now together
Yeah.
forever.
I understand in this book, like from a writing perspective, yes. I would have just preferred two separate novellas and then just like getting the full situation or just two separate books. Because honestly, like I wasn't as invested in Alina McKenna as I thought I was going to be. He didn't revenge enough. Like you said, he was a simp, which it
But
worked
he
out. Like
couldn't.
I know,
He
but I
came back so
still.
set on revenge only to be What isn't it, Marcus? He's
Oh,
like,
that's a big ass spider. Oh my god. What did I kill it with? Oh my god. Oh my. Ah, ah, ah. I got it. It's on my book. It's wet.
It's not huge.
It was. You
But
didn't
it's
see
a
it.
spider. I'm gonna
You
give it. I
didn't
don't like
see
them.
it. You didn't see
I
it.
thought it would be the
He
size
left
of-
a stain. It didn't have a girthy body. It had a tiny body, but it had legs. It was Cindy Crawford, okay?
I would just get these boxes.
I know. It wasn't even on a box, though. It was on this
It could've
bookshelf.
crawled off.
It was up there.
No, but
I'm freaking athlete. Valerie Bowman. The Irresistible Rogue. You got me through that trauma. Wow. Okay. There have been a lot of spiders.
well, we get scorpions, so
No. Oh.
alas, it is true.
Ew. Ugh. I just feel like I see bugs all the time now. Like my eyes like pretend and then it's real. Like we passed the point of pretending.
If it makes you feel any better, so I'm blind without my glasses or contacts, right? Cannot see
Yeah.
like 6 inches in front of my face. So twice now, recently, I've been in the shower where I can't see, and I've seen a spot, and I've been like, is it a spot? And then it'll move, and I'm like, it's not a spot. And then I have to get out of the shower. The first time, it turns out it was a ladybug. There's something about me. I've had this now in my apartment in a completely different city and also here.
Yeah.
Where I just get ladybugs inside. And it's only my room and my apartment. So I don't know what that is.
Weird.
I don't know. But there was a ladybug. And I was like, okay, if there's going to be a mysterious spot that I can't see without my glasses while I'm naked and vulnerable,
It's
at
so
least it's a
vulnerable.
ladybug, right? You're so vulnerable. However,
No
more
glasses.
recently, I saw a spot at the top of my shower.
Oh.
And I was like, what is that? Luckily, I was finishing up my shower, so I got out. I came back. It was a scorpion, and it fell from the ceiling down into the shower. Luckily, I was already out of the shower at that point. But I was like, this is the worst thing that could possibly happen to me. What if it had fallen while I was in the shower?
A scorpion. Naked and afraid.
Naked and afraid
of scorpions.
So true.
Ew.
So true.
It's a terrible season right now for creepy crawlies. They love me. Because my tree gets parked under... Nope. My car gets parked under our tree, which apparently produces, like, sticky, sweet, like, sap or something. I mean, those leaves could just fall off now. It's freaking fall. But all those, like, Asian beetles attach themselves to my car. I was driving to Target. There were, like, 10 on the hood of my car. I'm like, you are disgusting. Also, I had to go 55. You were just sticking on there. So they like feed on my car. I'm like, I'm not a nature girl. Like, at any part. Like, I am so...
Banging up against a tree. Maybe not your
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any grass situation. I don't like picnics. I don't like ants. And they don't like... Well, they love me, actually. They just want to be all up on me all the time in my room, on my bed, in my bed. Yeah, I get to live vicariously. I mean, I'm not doing anything with a tree anyway, but that would probably not be the best situation. Because I have a lot of hair, too, so I feel like the branches, like I'd be plucking those things out of my hair for days.
Well, presumably the branches
or like bark
don't
peach.
okay, bark maybe, depending on the kind of tree. The branches would be a bit higher. I'd be concerned,
I guess,
if you had branches.
I guess, or if you were on the ground. Or I guess sap, that would be terrible in hair.
It also depends on the kind of tree.
Oh, we have a lot. The trees here, like, they're very sappy.
Oh, we don't get a ton of sappy trees. Anyway, what I was going to say a long time ago was that Marcus makes an observation about how, like, he came here for vengeance, but really he was always in more danger from her than she was from him.
Which was true. That was so true. It was a true statement.
Slay Marcus.
He read the room. Oh God. Yeah. I was just like, she's not gonna send him away again. She's not gonna do it. And then she did it. And I was like, girl.
Look, Aileen was going through it
Yeah,
for many years. So was McKenna, but he's a man, so I feel like he deserves it more. Aileen just had to deal with a horrible fire.
Yeah. And I
On
forgot
top of
because
everything else.
you had told me about that, and then I forgot about it. And I was like, oh yeah, that happens.
It does happen.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
God,
And then
yeah.
he's so mad at her, and it's so hot.
Well, because I was waiting for the big reveal, so I was like, I need to get to it.
Oh, and he's so angry. And he's
Yeah.
like, you dare? And then he's like, we're going to be having sex right now. And she's like, not ready for that. And he said, that is too bad.
Mhm.
That is
Yes,
too
he
bad for
did.
you. I think it's the only time I can think of where a hero being angry really does it for me.
Ooh.
I'm sure there are others, but they don't
Yeah.
stick the way that one does.
Yeah, I'm not thinking of any.
Because normally I don't like it when they're angry. I want them to be groveling.
I like it when they're angry, jealous.
Yes.
On most occasions. There have been some where I'm just like, dude.
Yeah. Well, but then they rarely take it out on the heroine.
Yeah.
At least not more than, for a second.
Unless you're fucking Whitney, dude. What's his name? Something
what
with
is
a
his
G.
name? The Duke of Claymore. Clayton.
Clayton, yeah.
Yeah, unless you're Clayton. In which case, see a therapist.
Yeah. He really needs one.
That's a professional conclusion jumpist. So he is excluded from the average.
Mm-hmm.
Spiders George, who eats an average of 1,000 spiders a year. Or 10,000. And should be excluded from the average.
Huh?
You know I never know if it's Spiders George or Spiders Georg.
I knew Miss Spider.
No. Spiders Georg. The internet meme, as Google tells me.
No.
Let
me Google it, I suppose.
So there's a Tumblr post, because of course it's a Tumblr post, and it's a decently old one. And it's a one that says average person eats 3 spiders a year. Factoid, actually just statistical error. Average person eats 0 spiders per year. Spiders either Georg or George. But there's no E, so I think it's Georg. Spiders Georg, who lives in cave and eats over 10,000 each day, is an outlier and should not have been counted.
I have never encountered that.
Okay.
In my young life.
It is a Tumblr heritage post. It's a classic. Spiders Georg.
I never had Tumblr.
Boy, did you miss out.
I did. I am admitting that. I did do that. I did miss out. Now I'm just looking at spiders and I'm getting traumatized.
Well, don't do that.
I know. They were just, I did not spell it right. So I just pulled up spiders. Spiders near me?
Happens.
Yeah. Single spiders.
Single spiders.
And it's boy, do I have them.
The Nascosta.
Yeah.
I haven't read it and I don't plan to, because anything that involves a humanoid with a body of a spider is not for me.
Yeah, no, I'm so sorry. The 8 eyes would do it for me, but they would take me out. I'd be petrified. I'd be down.
I knew that there were 8 eyes. I just knew the body was.
Well, I don't know. Maybe there aren't. Any kind of spider situation.
Yeah, that's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Like Annabeth and that spider.
Yeah, that was rough.
You're better than I am. I mean, obviously we all knew that, but
yeah, that she's better than all of us, though.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like both Gideon and McKenna would kill spiders for those sisters.
Yeah.
That's the...
What romance hero isn't going to kill the spider?
That's so true. There was one... Oh, actually, what did I read? Was it the one we just read with the Mary Jo Putney, the rake? She was like, there's a spider. And he's like, was it that one?
Yeah.
And she's like,
No,
he's like, was it that one? Because like she was trying to be annoying, but was it that one?
no.
What one was it?
It was one of the. It was the Teresa Medeiros. It was Thief of Heart.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So she was.
Yeah, but he would kill a spider. He
would
would.
have.
He was lying.
He would have. So he just rescued it. Which, I mean, if I had a guy who wanted to rescue it, sure.
Well, no, he didn't even rescue it. He went to kill it, and she was like,
And
no, just take it outside. And he was like, no, I'm gonna kill it. And she was like, no, and then she rescued it because she had brought it in the first place.
This is the real tea. Exposed.
So even he would kill the spider for her.
So
against her will. Anyway, McKenna. And Aileen.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that dad. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed him not being there, but I also would have preferred him to be beaten to a
Enjoyed
pulp.
him not, you did.
True that is. Like, was it as satisfying as if, like, he would have pounded him?
I mean, I love that 2 of his kids married Americans, and the other one married the stable boy that he sent away.
Basically an American. He's like, I'm American. I'm like, are you, sir? You like tea. That's fine. I also like tea. The British don't want to claim me.
I mean, he makes the valid point of, like, as soon as you get there.
Yeah.
You're an American.
Yeah.
What? Land of the free and the men.
And the spiders. But unless it's Australia, and then they're the land of the spiders. I doubt we're even in the top any country of spiders, but this is my spider era. Do I have any notes from this book?
I mean, I don't. It just makes me feral every time.
Yeah. Oh, I took some pictures, but I don't know what they were. Because I didn't want to write, because I was like laying in my bed and cozy, so I didn't want to have to write anything.
So valid.
Thank you. Oh, I did enjoy when Gideon said that he loved Livia, and he's like, you don't have to say it back. For once, I want to have the pleasure of loving someone without asking for anything in return.
Shut up.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was a good one.
Speak to me.
And then there was like a cute little festival. I enjoyed that.
There was a little festival where he got her gingerbread, and he had everyone serenade her.
You're right. And then once he realized when Livia was like, hey, this is the reason why she sent you away, and I contributed to it. And then he sent her all those roses and gingerbread. Oh.
And a terrible
And he wrote her a poem. I did enjoy the courting in that. I thought that was really fun. And that tree. They made good use of the tree.
That tree. The tree.
Main character.
That daybed in the cabinet.
Daybed, yeah.
Slay.
Yeah. Slay indeed. And then Gideon used a freaking ice cube.
Yeah. What the hell? Lisa will just throw some stuff in there and you're like, oh.
Old school Lisa got it done. She understood the assignment.
Did send me into oblivion that he was like, no, I can't. Like, I'm drunk. I won't take advantage of you on the floor. Like, you're a lady. And meanwhile, the entire time, Livia's like, no, you can actually, I was perfectly comfortable. You can actually continue. I would not mind if you just went back to what you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a real one. I definitely, like, they grew on me a lot. Because at the beginning, I was like, oh, that's so insta-love. Like, eh. But then by the end, I was like, I want you both to tell me more about your love.
Tell me more.
What did he write in the letters?
We've been reading a lot of alcoholics.
Yeah, I know. We gotta go read the Duke Undone again. Got the trifecta. I do find it fascinating when the topic is broached in historical, since they drank a lot, and, like, probably better to drink mead and or alcohol than water. And so, like, current me withers away at the thought, because I love my ice cold water so much. Like, it's my best friend. I love water bottles. I love hydration. I think about water all the time. And if I didn't have that and I had to drink, like, beer or ale or something, or
you
wine,
wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't have had ice cold.
Let's say I was in, like, a Highlander situation or whatever, and I got time travel back and they tried to feed me lukewarm alcohol, I don't know. I'd like find a witch and get myself transported back because that's a no-go for me. So I do always find it interesting when they bring up the alcoholism because so many have to assume we're just so reliant on it if it was like a part of their.
Well, and especially if you get like, I think it's Elizabeth Hoyt because she does the, like St. Giles.
Yeah,
Gin comes up a lot,
you're right.
and
Yeah.
like the gin addiction that was so
Mm-hmm.
prevalent in the lower classes.
Yep.
I think it's one that I'm reading right now that she
I'm trying to.
grew up in the slums. Yeah, no, it's one that I'm reading right now, but she grew up in the slums and is
That's
having to like
Elizabeth
pass
Hoyt.
herself. No, a different
Okay.
book, and is having to pass herself off as not upper class, but not
Mm-hmm.
super poor. And somebody asks if she wants a drink, and she goes for gin, and he's like,
Ah,
interesting, because that's like a
wait.
poor people drink.
Yeah, what book is this?
It's Never Blow a Kiss. I'm
Oh,
pretty sure.
I don't know why that felt very deja vu-ish.
Oh, unless it's a different book.
No,
I think it's
I
that
doubt
one.
it. I doubt it. Yeah, it's just alcohol is always fascinating to me in that, especially I enjoyed how she was like, I won't watch you destroy yourself. I can't, like, I love you, but I can't. And then he was like, can you at least blink? He's like, just one blink, like just big blink, like if you love me. I need it to help me get through. And I was like, oh my God. I like how he committed to going away for 6 months. Again, it wasn't as in depth as we got in The Rake because this is a twofer couple book. But they treated it kind of differently, so I liked it. I mean, those sisters, they secured the bag. What can I say?
They did.
They
Much
knew how to do
against
it.
Marcus's will.
That's so true. And they're really against their fathers, which, again, fuck that guy.
Well, yeah. I mean, Marcus at least by the end was like,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to solve some
Yeah.
problems here. So, number one, let me look at them legs. Not as bad as I thought. Number two, into the carriage. We got to go.
I did. And then he was like, she's sick. And then, because he had to go on because
Yeah.
McKenna was leaving on a boat. It was dramatic. And then Westcliff was like, I'll go get him. And then McKenna runs up to the carriage. She's like, yeah, you need a doctor. And she's like, huh? And she's like, Westcliff, Marcus, like, I'm not sick. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
He said, and he wouldn't have come otherwise. He said, I solved the problem.
What else did I take a picture of? Oh, the blinking. Yeah, that took me out. Page 337, if you will, of the original copy. Oh, I took two pictures. I didn't want to miss it. I really know that it was page 237. This just seems to be a sex scene. And I don't know. What was he doing? I don't know why this was relevant. Because I screenshot these to talk about, but
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, that's a great point. I don't either. I don't know. Yeah, this is explicit, so I don't I don't know what my end game here was.
Oh.
Was it funny? What? No. I don't know. Well, we've got 379, if anyone's curious. Page 379. Have a good time.
I mean, what scene?
I think it's right at the end of the book, like when when he's like first seeing her scars.
Oh, he
But,
says
like,
a lot of things.
Yeah, but that wasn't this. This is them just fully banging. I don't know.
I mean, it was notable.
That is very true.
It was a notable scene.
Well, I don't. Oh, fuck. I remember why. It's all coming back. It's because she said that she wanted McKenna all over her, against her, inside her, blah, blah, blah. And then I was in my Taylor Swift mode. So I was thinking of songs that were like, give me the vibe. And then that line reminded me of You All Over Me, which the song didn't, kind of fits a little bit at the beginning. But that's what that was. We've come to the conclusion of that great mystery. My other ones were Hoax, which I think really gives the vibe at the beginning. and even throughout. And then the Great War, if I would have read this before we did our Midnights episode. But I was getting very like the melancholy and like the sad fearless vibes, but I only did You All Over Me. And that wasn't even like one of the ones I was originally thinking about. But yeah. Again, I just love that Fearless album. I know you don't, but you'll get it. You'll get it. But we have to listen to it 10 million times for our episode, whenever that may be. Yeah, okay, so that was that sex scene. 382, what's happening here? Oh, I just really liked the I never hated sunrise as much. No man on earth has ever hated sunrise as much as I do. I thought that was a banger of a line. Because for thousands of nights I dreamed of making love to you. Yeah, that one
some
spoke
bangers.
to me. Yeah. So that was my. Oh, there are some more. Well, I'm not going to take us through those. I really
He's
don't
just
know.
the most dramatic. Like, the fact that he showed up and instead of just, like, saying hello, he, like, snuck into the house somehow and left that handkerchief on her bed.
And then he's talking a big, mean game. And then he's like, well, don't throw it away. Like, I'll take it back.
Yeah. He said, hang on.
He finds her at their secret spot. And he's like, well, if you're going to throw it away, like, don't. I'll take it. And he does. And I'm like, sir, you've shown your cards already. You don't know when to hold them. You don't know when to fold them. God.
He's doing his best.
And I did think the prime revenge for me wasn't even, like, revenge, but it was him thinking about her pregnant.
Slay.
And he's like, it was possible that he made her pregnant. The thought filled him with primitive satisfaction to see her big and helpless with his child, overtaken with his seed, dependent in every way on him. Yes, he thought grimly. He wanted to occupy her with his own flesh and chain her to him with a bond she could never break. Like, that peak villain era. Because that's the kind of villain I want. I enjoyed that.
It's so borderline toxic and heteronormative of me, but I love it every time. Every time a hero is, like, very primitive, I want to get her pregnant. I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Yeah, it does. It does something.
Straight to my id.
Your id?
Yeah. That.
What is an id?
You know, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's that part of your
id.
Like the primal part of your brain.
Oh. Interesting.
As opposed to what is it, ego?
Oh. Interesting.
And super ego, it's all that.
Wow.
And yeah, id, ego, super ego. So id is your instincts. Ego is reality. Super ego is morality.
Whoa.
So there you go. So straight to my id. That's where that goes. Man said, I want to impregnate that woman. And I said, tell me more, McKenna. Tell me more.
Yeah, I really do agree. Because there was that one Katie Robert Dragon book. And she was on birth control the entire time. Meanwhile, he's, like, flooding her with his cum.
Not flooding her.
Oh, he was, though. It was like a river.
Oh, good
torrents.
Lord.
Gushing.
Oh, my.
And I was just like, but like, but what if she was pregnant? Didn't happen, because there was a whole thing in the book about her, like, them, like, ripping off the birth control chain, and then, like, some guy thought it was not consensual that they ripped it off, but it was a whole thing. But I just kept thinking, I was like, that's a lot of fluid to be wasting.
That's a lot of fluid.
It was. So
it's like which Cressley Cole is it where he, like, rips her birth control patch off? Or, like, throws them away. It's the witch, Mariquetta, and Bowen, I think.
Was it that one, really?
I'm pretty sure.
It wasn't the first one?
No. I don't think. No, because it's during the race. When they're stuck together in a cave.
I really enjoyed that one, but that one just does not stick in my brain. I remember, like, parts of it. Like, I remember, like, what leads up to it and, like, when they get trapped in there, because she's with Rydstrom in that cave, and then she gets out and she's pissed. To be fair, he didn't think that he trapped them in there. But he did. He did trap them.
But he did.
So then that's where I first got my introduction.
But he did.
To good old Rydstrom.
Well, isn't that where we all got our introduction to Rydstrom?
Yeah, but for me it's different because he's mine.
So I am not like other girls. It's different for me. I haven't even read his book yet, but I read that one and I said, okay, noted. Demons, got it.
Okay, literally, he's such a conundrum. Like, just a little nut, and I just want to crack him. Just a little nut. Because he's so good, but he wants to be bad. And that's his whole thing. And it's just so good. And I'm in Cressley Cole's Facebook group, and they don't show enough love to Rydstrom and Sabine. Especially Sabine. She gets hated on, and I'm like, how dare you? How dare you? I take it really personally, but I don't comment because it would be a war. And I can't battle on my lunch break. But, like, just know, Cressley, that I'm willing to. I'd go to the mattresses for those two, and I'd go to their mattress. I'd throw myself in there. It'd be okay. I just, like, he's a rage demon. Horn, he had piercing. Like, there's just so much to that book. Like, that, it gets my id. I don't know how to use that in a sentence, but the id is itting.
It is itting.
Primitive.
That's me at Olivia and the Magic. The it is itting.
Mm-hmm.
If this was actually Wuthering Heights, I would actually like Wuthering Heights.
Oh, is this supposed to be kind of like Heathcliff and
My understanding
Kathy?
is that it's like her take on Wuthering Heights, but like with a happy ending.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because
because that would make sense about the two kind of couples then.
Yeah, it's like kind of gothic vibe, not like dark gothic, but you know, it's a little gothic. You have like the servant boy and the lady. There are several. They each say it. I think she says it at the beginning, and he says it at the very end, where they both say, "You're the other half of me."
Yeah,
which is like probably the most overt reference.
Yeah, it's taking me back to, I had a whole class on Wuthering Heights. It was well, it was fascinating because it was literary theory, but we applied it to Wuthering Heights. So like, we all read the book at the beginning of the class, and then we each week would have a different like literary theory to go over, you know, like Marxism or Freud, whatever. And so then my professor would pull articles of like scholars writing articles, like viewing, you know, Wuthering Heights through different lenses of literary theory, which was actually very fascinating. So I spent a lot of time with that book. Gosh, I liked the second, and I liked the secondary couple in that book. It's all making sense.
Just if I had to choose a book to spend an entire semester on, it wouldn't be Wuthering
Heights.
That's
so true. But that's a good point.
Some bangers in terms of quotes.
Yeah. But at least it wasn't like, I wasn't like reading to death Pride and Prejudice and like ruining it for me, you know?
That's so true. I mean, You Say I Killed You, Haunt Me Then.
So true. Honestly, that is
whatever souls are made of, his and mine are the same. Like,
yeah.
Some things are said in that book.
Haunt me then.
Haunt me then? Haunt me then.
That should come back in this fucking book.
That's so true. I could have used more. Maybe I just missed some of the references, but I could have used some more overt reference. Because I do like that you're the other half of me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that Haunt Me Then. That's a banger.
Yeah, nothing hits quite like. I don't even like that book very much.
Yeah.
I thought I would, because the whole point of Wuthering Heights is that it's like terrible people just being terrible. Mm-hmm. And normally that's my vibe. But alas, it was so boring. I was like, all right, guys.
See, I didn't hate it. I was having a time. I really enjoyed the secondary couple. Because I wasn't a fan of Heathcliff. I was like, you can go jump off of Heathcliff. But like, I think my professor was surprised about that. But I was like, well, I like the younger one.
Yeah.
Like, he was good. I wish, honestly, if I could go back to college, but not like be in college, just like learn some more without paying money.
Yeah, I would love to just go like, whatchamacallit?
Yeah,
what is it
survey
called?
Or something?
Yeah, but there's a word. Oh my gosh. Audit.
Audit, yes.
I audited a couple of classes in college that like they didn't work for my degree, so my financial
Mm-hmm.
aid didn't cover it, but I just wanted to, like, literally go sit in the class, and so I did. I just audited. It was great. Unfortunately, it's not free to audit if you're not a student.
Oh, that makes sense. Well, I
But
mean,
I mean, I
government
think it's, like,
capitalism.
$60 or something, at least at UT, so that's not, like, crazy, but actually, UT apparently teaches, a Taylor Swift course,
Mm,
and I was like, "If I lived in
that'd be
Austin,
fun.
what if I just"
Wow. Yeah, I went to a super small school, so we didn't have very many fun courses. Well, I mean, we did, but like they were in my major because I consider them fun.
Fair enough.
I don't think anyone else outside of English major would. But I had the Art of Courtly Love, which is another level 3. That was a lot of fun. Was reading a lot of um the old like Eleanor of Aquitaine, like Lancelot, a lot of old poetry, and it was really cool. Mm. The amount of Courtly Love and One Direction songs, banger. There's a lot. Um, I know I miss those fun courses. I'm like, I just want to learn, but with no stakes.
You should look at,
Vegetarian
the
learning.
Great Courses.
What is that?
It's like a bazillion lectures on a bazillion different
Oh.
I mean, you have to pay for them. I always just like my
Mhm.
dad has a bunch of them, so I don't know if there's
That's fun.
there. I had an app where you could do it on there, but also they're on DVD. And basically, it's professionals who teach a bunch of lectures on niche topics, or not necessarily niche, but
Mhm.
some of them are. And there's like a
I always
bazillion of
wondered
them.
how you got to be so niche, you know? Like how
I
you
was
get to
like,
be the
I
one.
would go do a PhD if I could specialize in something related to romance. Like, that
Yeah.
is the kind of thing I would love researching, but
Yep.
that's not like there's no master's degree in romance in the sense of like modern
Yeah.
romance novels as
Yeah, you'd
opposed to
have
like
to
romance with a
like build it
capital
your
R.
own.
I know, and that's too much for me.
Mhm.
I want to just learn from other
I
where
agree.
are the doctors in small like lowercase r romance that I can learn from? Where are your lectures? I will attend them.
I really agree. Some of these authors need to come together and create a romance course.
I mean, Nisha Sharma, Adriana Herrera,
Mhm.
who else? I'm
Because
sure so
you've
many
said it
others.
before that you wish that like romance
I want
collection of
Fated Mates and
yeah.
Friends to write
Yeah.
an essay anthology.
That'd be really good.
Who do
Essays I'd
I
like to F.
essays I'd like to have. Who do I get in contact with? Like, I can't pay you, but how do I
I can
wrangle
give
you
you
into doing this for
I
me?
can give you the little blob bunny. I can't feed it, I can't water it, I can't take care of it, I can't change its bedding, but I will give you it
I will
for
give you
free.
it. I will just put that little idea into your brain. Um,
I bet it's already percolating for them. That would be really cool.
I
And I would read that really hard.
I just want to be like, hey Nisha, write an essay on something about romance, whatever you want, whatever you
That's so
want.
true.
Ready, set, go. Just about romance novels. That's probably way
What?
too broad. They would need more direction than that. I don't care. They can whatever direction they want. I don't know, but if somebody could talk to these very busy authors, I say as if Nisha Sharma isn't literally in the process of like getting her
Yeah.
PhD right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they don't have anything else going on in their lives, and they definitely have time.
Just have to like carefully comb their Substacks, just print them out and bind them together in a very sad book. Substacks of love.
So true.
Yeah.
There we
Finding
go.
love in the Substacks. Nope.
The stub
Substacks.
sacks.
Oh, that's terrible. Oh, that's so bad. Oh, I apologize for that one. Yeah. Yeah, I don't got
If somebody wants to write one on, again, the magic as Wuthering Heights, I would read that. It probably exists, and I just haven't Googled it.
Yeah, we should look for that. That'd be interesting.
If we find anything, it'll be in the show notes.
I'll just send it to my professor, be like, "Hello, Bradley. Do I have a course for you?"
Hello, Bradley. I was really thinking about, I read a novella last like Halloween or something. The How to Get a Girlfriend When You're a Terrifying Monster.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best examples I have ever read. The literary device defamiliarization, which is one of my favorites. And I learned about it in a playwriting class.
Ooh.
And I was so close to just cold emailing this professor that I haven't spoken to or stayed in contact with and just being like, hey, all I could think about when reading this monster romance.
Yeah.
I'm a big defamiliarization fan, but also I just love that novella because I thought that was so fun.
Cool. Well, I don't think I have much more on Again the Magic.
No,
Again, I have more screenshots, but again, I don't know. And not even screenshots, like I just fully took pictures.
relatable.
Yeah. Oh, I liked the term plentiful maleness. What are you thankful for this Thanksgiving? Plentiful maleness.
Plentiful
Thank you
maleness.
very much.
So relatable, Lisa.
Cornucopia of men. Turns out it's just the Hunger Games, and the cornucopia in the games doesn't spout out like viable weapons or food.
Raining men.
It's just rain and men from that cornucopia. So honestly, slay. Oh, and then when Mr. Shaw, when Gideon was like, I don't chase after anything. Meanwhile, he was already chasing after. He was like looking for her. And then Aline was like, Mr. Shaw, you do seem to be chasing at something. Because he saw Olivia in the garden and was like, oh, gotta go.
He
That was
zoomed.
fun. He zoomed.
It was like that cartoon thing where they like run off and leave like a cloud of dust in their wake.
Yep. Yeah, I had fun with that. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's one that I would reread often just because I don't have the audiobook. I think if I were doing like a full reread of the series, I would. But it's not one I think that I would like go back. Because I don't know how, I was trying to like rank it in my Wildflower rating and I have no clue how to do that. So,
Well, it feels very different from because it's a very different style.
yeah, it is.
I think it's its own.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Wallflowers also have their own distinct kind of feel to them, just based on mostly the heroines, I feel like, but
And whatever happens at the end. Explosions, kidnapping, fights, carriage accidents, near drowning,
gunshot,
poisoning, arson.
God, I love Lisa Kleypas so much.
That is a point, because this one was very character driven.
Mm-hmm.
So there was like the ending was Aline having to send him away, and then her having to chase after him, and like her hurting him, and then apologizing and all of that. So that definitely felt different. And I was like, well, what if there was kidnapping? Like, but what if?
But what if a burning building fell on top of them?
Yeah. Like, it could happen. She's done it before. What if he was just shoved in a cabinet not to have sex, but to frickin' make guns after being kidnapped?
I thought you were going to be referencing getting shoved in a cabinet and then threatened to have that cabinet lit on fire.
Another reference. Another one. Lisa Kleypas and her cabinets.
What if there were bees and also a ghost?
Bees and also a ghost. Honestly, what a wild ride reading her has been. Bees?
What if you just shoved some raspberries up your hoo-ha?
Another one. Ooh. Good book. Suddenly
what if your long-lost bastard son was just right under your nose, but he was so handsome that he always wore a beard, and it was only when he shaved his beard and you realized how handsome he was that you realized he was your son?
Because you were, in fact, so handsome. And what if his new wife is the daughter of your best friend and his wife, who you tried to kidnap? I just find it so funny. I find it so fucking funny that Merritt grew up with Sebastian, and then she ends up with his son who looks exactly like him. I find that so funny. And she's like, oh, you look like him. The beard bit is hilarious. He's like, I get made fun of, so I need to have my beard.
He said, I'm too handsome. I'm too
I'll
handsome.
accept. I know there are problems with that book, but boy, do I love it.
It's like the I was just watching a video from Chels on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
and they had an old copy of Playgirl magazine, and it was
Mm-hmm.
about the Topaz cover
Yeah.
model. And they said that apparently it took him a while to become a model, and initially he was told he couldn't be a model because he was too muscular and his hair was too long. Like, yes, that common evergreen complaint. He's too muscular and his hair is too long.
Was Fabio around before that? Or was this before
I
Fabio?
believe it was about the same. My understanding from that video was that Topaz was trying to have their own version of Fabio, essentially.
Sad for that man.
I mean, it worked. He became very well known and very handsome. And there were interviews with lots of women talking about how into him they were. And one time they were like, "What do you like about him?" And one lady was like, "His buns." And I was like, "Me." I can't wait to be like an older lady and just say whatever I want.
That is so true. A moment where I went, me, was when McKenna just really started to sweat in this book. He was just like immediately sweaty. I can't remember what it was for.
Was it
Like,
when she when Livia
yeah.
apologized and explained, and he's just
Yeah.
sitting there panicking?
He just gets consistently more sweaty, and I thought it was the funniest thing.
And then he just goes outside and like hunches against a lamppost, and people are like, "That's probably
Yeah.
a crazy man that we should avoid."
Yeah. And then proceeds to buy London out of white roses and gingerbread.
Yeah.
Which again, I forgot that gingerbread was actually bread and not just like a cookie.
Nope.
So fun thing to learn. But that's why it hurt so much when she was like, "You have sent him away again." I'm like, but he just sweat so much out of love.
Sweat. He was so sweaty, Aileen. You don't even know how drenched this man was.
But can you just like the cinema? It's giving movie. It's giving cinematography of Olivia sitting next to him, and also Gideon. He didn't witness any of this, so he just gets back, and then you just witness McKenna just like get more sweaty. He gets sweatier and sweatier, and he's just like fanning himself. He's just like hyperventilating. Like the image, movie, like so that was a relatable moment, for me.
I mean, haven't we all been there?
Yeah, because then you know the time when your heart starts to beat really fast, and you're like, "Oh my god." Yeah. So I just really enjoyed that drama,
The drama.
the drama of it all.
Sometimes you get really sweaty. Sometimes you look into the camera and grin evilly, thinking about your master plan to seduce this woman that you've loved your entire life, even when you hated her, because clearly nothing could go wrong with that plan.
I just can't. When I first read that he literally like looked over his shoulder, was like, I was like, "Are you pirate? What are you doing?" I was like, "You can't have just done that."
He's just he thinks he's so evil.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like,
and everyone else is just like, okay.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, there were times when Gideon was kind of like, "Bro, okay, you're actually scaring me. Like, what do you mean you want to ruin her name, take her as a mistress, do all this shit?" And he's like,
so
"Yeah,
funny.
I will."
He's so convinced he's gonna do it too.
He's like, "Yeah, I will."
And you're like, not a chance. Not a snowball's chance in hell, McKenna. And we all know it. And if we're being honest, so does pretty much everyone else.
Yeah, Westcliff is not fooled.
Like,
Mrs.
at first,
Fair
he's kind of
thingy is not fooled.
suspicious. And then
Yes,
he's like,
suspicious.
you know what? This man is going to ruin his own life. So let's just let this play out.
Yeah.
Except for when he does send them to London by fucking up their business. Because why not?
But then Livia takes the reins.
I did have to cackle at the mention of Livia being like, "Marcus, I thought you liked Americans." I was like,
I was
just
cackling
wait.
whenever they like made reference. I was like,
Did you also catch they're staying at the Rutledge when they
Yeah.
go to London?
Yeah, I was like, "Harry, where you at?" I was like, "Harry,
Harry, where you at?
I know you haven't You haven't met her yet, but Harry, you're gonna be so down, so bad. There's gonna be a man with a gun. He's gonna come to your wedding, and you're just gonna be like, "Hey, dude, what are you doing?"
Oh, that's right. The Hathaways are after.
Yeah, I was trying to
Yeah.
visualize, and I was like, "Oh yeah," because they're closer to they have days there. They know about the Bowmans.
Well,
Because Westcliff is there, yeah.
they go to the Stony Cross.
A hedgehog is gonna fuck up your life, and you're gonna cuddle it, you're gonna hold it, you're gonna pick it up.
God, I love that moment.
I know. So I was cackling at the Rutledge. So I was like, what if I read that? But I was like, no, I can't. I have so many arcs.
What if I drop everything?
Because I did not appreciate that book enough. I haven't given it its flowers. It's Millions of White Roses. I have not done that. And I need to.
I mean, you gotta appreciate a man who
Yeah, I didn't. I did not. I didn't love it
who
enough.
can charm a hedgehog and understand jokes about ancient Greek poets.
I know.
Did you mean my dream man?
Honestly. I love that one.
I gotta say this for Lisa Kleypas. She will just go balls to the wall and be like, and what about it? And it will seem so normal in context.
That's so true.
Like, someone will get kidnapped, and you're like, yeah. I mean, that's true of a lot of historical romance, but, like...
You gotta give it to Beverly and Lisa. They got the blueprint. So true. They know what they gotta do, and they do it. They do it well.
Real. And then sometimes she's like, no one's gonna get kidnapped, but she is gonna get pregnant and not tell the real father, and then he's gonna find out that she was gonna marry someone else
from the fake father.
And then he's gonna lose his mind, and then he's gonna be like, I'm going to have sex with you until you agree to marry me. And she's like, so be it.
And so it was.
What a bonkers book. She said
I need to reread that one again.
She mistook him for a male prostitute, and he just let her think that.
That's my favorite trope. I forget about that trope, but I love it.
He just let her... He was like, so much. You know what? Let's go with this. Yes, I'm here to service you.
You need to read Seducing a Stranger by Kerrigan Byrne. Because she fully is like, oh yeah, I want that stag at St. James. He's just undercover. He's in all black, being a little suspicious. And she's like, I want you. And he's like, okay. And then they just...
He's so real for that.
Yeah, he was like, honestly, I can't be bothered to say no.
I mean, you need to read The Raven Prince by Elizabeth Hoyt. She's the one pretending to... Well, she has set out to trick him.
Okay, but what if we do an episode on it? And then that just gives us...
I don't know if I'm willing to reread that book.
Well, you don't have to reread it. I can read it.
Okay. Well, and you can go ahead and read
Seducing a Stranger. That one's a good time. She's like gonna get married, so then she wants to lose her virginity because she hates the guy she's getting married to. So then she goes to the stake of St. James, gets absolutely railed. Her fiance gets absolutely killed. And then he's the investigator investigating her. She's the number one suspect. He doesn't believe it because he's like, wow, I was inside you. I know what we did, what we had. It's really good. So, just...
Well, meanwhile, in The Raven Prince, she is working for him as his secretary because he is so awful that every other secretary he has had has quit. And Delicious. She is a widow and really needs this job. And they are very into each other, but won't do anything about it. And she knows that he's going to a very exclusive brothel where sometimes ladies of the ton get dressed, wear masks and get to pretend to be prostitutes. So she also goes to London, wears a mask.
The bride goes rogue.
Pretends to be a prostitute. They have some absolutely wild, filthy sex because it's Elizabeth Hoyt. And then he comes back.
Yes.
And he doesn't know that it's her. Yet. But she does. And also he's like trying to marry somebody else. It's a whole thing.
Wow. Well, that sounds like a great episode. Just saying.
Technically, Brazen and the Beast.
Yeah.
She's going to a brothel and he shows up. He's tied up in her carriage first. And then she bodily throws him out of the moving carriage. But then he pulls up in her room and is like, surprise.
Hot.
Good for him. Good for her.
Them. Yeah.
Good for the year of Hattie. What a way to kick it up with a bang.
There are a few more. I feel like that would make a fun episode. But before that, to get into the, what's it called? The, I don't know, outro portion. I was like, sound.
Oh.
There's a word, like the housekeeping. Housekeeping.
Okay. All right.
To get into the housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Our next episode.
It was like denouement? Like what?
denouement?
That was my immediate thought.
Our next episode is an old school one that if I was prepared, I would know the title of.
It's An Unwilling Bride.
Look at that. Jo Beverly, right?
That sounds right.
Yep. On 10/6. And then 10/13 is scooching closer to Halloween. And that's also the day I'm going to the Eras Tour movie. So,
Slay.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. Yeah. I just need to get one of those buckets.
That's so valid.
Like I need Matthew Swift. And one of those cups. Yeah. Like I need Rydstrom. My cup and bucket. Matthew Swift and Rydstrom weed. There's a hole in my bucket. Maybe I'm the bucket.
Forget your Roman Empire. Who are your cup and bucket? That sounds so dirty.
She bit the stick. So on 10/13, we're gonna do Angelica Frankenstein Makes Her Match by Sally Thorne, because we have both read it. I believe we both gave it 5 stars. I am desperately in need of a reread, and it's spooky and or Frankenstein-ish-esque. So that's that. And then Halloween is on a Tuesday. So that means our TBR Tuesday is going to be all Halloween stuff. And let's see if we can top last year. We had so many horny pumpkins, and I don't know if I can mentally do that. But
yeah, I don't know either.
We'll try.
Horny pumpkins were a lot.
Yeah, there were a few like other ones that are just kind of like spoofy gothic vibes that I want to do. We're doing Gaywick.
The spoofy gothic vibes.
Yeah, you know. Spoogoth. 10/20 is our Gaywick episode, which is like one of the first male.
I think it's like recognized as the first.
Recognized? Yeah, I think there were a few before. Or at least
the first like gothic romance.
Yeah. So this one's in KU apparently. So excited for that. And I do love a good gothic vibe, even if I may hate it. I'll still be cozy in my bed. So it'll be a vibe. I don't know.
A confusing sentence that was.
So I'm ready.
So true.
10/27 we have TBD. Maybe that'll be our Oops, You're Not a Prostitute?
My birthday is the next day, and what?
It's a perfect send-off. It's a perfect. It's the gift that keeps on giving. Jelly of the Month Club? No, prostitutes that aren't prostitutes.
Big fan of Oops, You're Not a Prostitute? ? As the trope roundup.
And also, Oops, You're Not a Virgin, or You Are a Virgin. I also love that trope.
That's a classic.
2
things that, well, I mean, technically you can have them in contemporary, but they don't make as much. They're just, why?
Yeah. Because there's less hymen.
There's less.
Generally, there's less hymen in contemporary romance. So.
Wow.
I don't know where to go with that besides to end the episode, really.
No high. Just men.
Okay. No high, just men.
Yeah. No high, just men who are highwaymen.
Full circle.
Life is a highway.
I wanna ride it all night long. I've been thinking about that. Because life is a highway.
Life is a highway.
And you want to ride it.
I do.
All night long.
You know who else I want to ride all night long?
Who?
McKenna.
Oh, yeah. I'll take Gideon.
Valid.
One spider was harmed in the making of this podcast.